It wasn't just a love story, it was a tale of fate, patience, quiet affection, and unwavering determination. In a rare and heartfelt interview held in a cozy studio nestled in the quiet hills of Jeju, South Korea, Hyun finally broke his silence and opened up about one of the most celebrated and speculated romances in Korean entertainment history, his love story with Sun Ye-jin. There was always something about her, he said softly, eyes gleaming not with the glamour of celebrity, but with something gentler, memory. From the first time we met, I felt like time slowed down for a moment. Their first meeting wasn't extravagant. It wasn't even planned. In 2011, at the Busan International Fantastic Film Festival, both stars attended as guests. They exchanged polite greetings, nothing more than standard industry etiquette. There was no instant spark. But as Hyun recalls, he couldn't stop thinking about her afterwards. Years went by, and both actors pursued their separate careers. They starred in different dramas, traveled to different countries, and found themselves at opposite ends of an ever-shifting industry. Their second official meeting happened years later when they co-starred in the 2018 action thriller The Negotiation. Ironically, despite being in the same movie, had only a few shared scenes. Yet, it was during the promotional tours that their paths began to intertwine. She had this sharp wit and calm energy that pulled me in, Hyun recalled. She listens carefully, speaks slowly, but everything she says stays with you. But it wasn't until the global phenomenon that was crash landing on you in 2019 that their bond truly began to grow. Filming across vast landscapes in Switzerland, Mongolia, and various sites in South Korea, the two actors spent months together on set, often rehearsing late into the night, eating meals together, and sharing quiet moments away from the cameras. Hyun recalled one specific day in Interlaken, Switzerland. They had wrapped filming a scene near the lake, and as the crew packed up, he and Sun Ye-jin sat in silence watching the sun dip below the Alps. I wanted to say something. I don't know what exactly, but the silence felt perfect. It was a moment I never forgot. During this period, rumors began to surface. Fans speculated about their closeness. Tabloids published blurry photos of the two together at dinner. Still, the couple maintained a dignified silence. It was complicated. Hyun admitted. There were so many eyes on us. I didn't want our relationship to become a product. I wanted to protect it. Despite the media frenzy, their bond only deepened. Hyun said that even when they weren't filming, they kept in touch, sending texts about scenes, lines, and eventually, just about life. He remembered the night he realized he missed her not just as a co-star, but as a person. I was back in Seoul, alone in my apartment. I cooked something she liked, soybean stew. And then I thought, it's better when she's around. Still, their journey wasn't without hurdles. There were times of doubt. Both private individuals, deeply protective of their careers and their dignity. Argued sometimes, he said with a smile. Not loudly or disrespectfully, but about real things, about what we wanted from life, from each other. One such moment happened during a brief break in filming. Sun Ye-jin had traveled to Jeju Island with friends, and Hyun stayed in Seoul. That week was hard, he said. I didn't know if we were growing closer or drifting apart. But absence made the heart grow clearer. When Sun Ye-jin returned, she brought back a handmade bracelet from a local artisan. She gave it to him quietly, with no speech. He still wears it under his sleeve during shoots. That's when I knew, he said. She remembered me even when she was far away. She didn't need to say it. I felt it. From that moment on, Hyun stopped overthinking. He began to lean into his feelings, not away from them. He started writing her letters, not text messages, but handwritten notes he would leave in her trailer or quietly pass to her between scenes. I wanted her to know how much I admired her, not just as an actress, but as a woman, intelligent, resilient, and full of grace. Their friends began to notice. One assistant director joked that the atmosphere on set was thicker than the script, but no one intruded. Their love, though quietly blooming, was respected by those around them. When filming wrapped in early 2020, the world was changing rapidly. The pandemic put all plans on hold. They retreated into privacy, like everyone else. But for Hyun, It was also the time he finally understood the depth of what he felt. She was the first person I wanted to call in the morning and the last one I wanted to text before sleeping, he said. It became so clear. I didn't want to go through life wondering what if. I wanted to know what forever could look like with her, while the world waited for updates on their relationship. Hyun was planning something more meaningful. He began meeting with jewelers, discreetly, for a ring that could represent not just love, but sincerity. He visited a small workshop in the district of Insadong, known for its bespoke, minimalist designs. There, chose a simple platinum band with a single sapphire, Sun Yijin's birthstone. It wasn't about impressing her, he explained. It was about giving her something that held meaning. He proposed in early 2021 at a private cabin in Gyeongwon Province, where the two had escaped for a quiet winter weekend. There was no flash, no crowd, just snowfall outside, warm fire inside, and Hyun kneeling on one knee. I forgot everything I wanted to say, he laughed. I just looked at her and said, let's spend the rest of our lives together. Please. She said yes. And in that moment, Hyun said, he felt time stop again. The announcement came weeks later. Their agencies released a joint statement. The internet exploded. Fans rejoiced. The wedding, held in March 2022 at the Walker Hill Hotel in Seoul, was elegant and understated. Only close family and friends attended. Hyun recalled the moment he saw Sun Yijin walking down the aisle in her white hally-sop gown. I had seen her in 100 different costumes, 1,000 camera angles. But nothing prepared me for that. She wasn't just beautiful. She was radiant. Married life, as Hyun describes it, is a blend of the extraordinary and the ordinary. They take turns cooking breakfast. They binge watch American sitcoms. They argue over grocery lists. They laugh. They hold hands during walks along the Han River late at night when no one is watching. He cherishes the quiet days most, when she's reading by the window, or humming a tune in the kitchen. That's when I know I made the right choice. There were professional challenges too. Lives are still public. Paparazzi follow. Speculation never ends. But together, they navigate it with grace. We have boundaries, he said. We're honest with each other about what hurts, what helps. We keep some things sacred. Hyun shared that Sun Yijin often surprises him with small gestures, a note in his bag, a playlist for his drive to set. On her birthday, he cooked a full-course meal, complete with candles and her favorite red wine. When asked what advice he would give to others searching for love, he paused. Don't chase the perfect moment, chase the person who makes every moment feel perfect. Looking back, Hyun knows the journey was not simple. There were delays, miscommunications, doubts. But he never gave up. Because every time I imagined the future, she was in it, he said. As the interview wrapped, he looked out the window where the first light of dusk was spilling across the studio floor. Then he added, almost in a whisper, she was worth everything, and I would choose her again, every single